Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hillside Gardener channel. And I'm at my grandparents' property, the site where I had the Hillside Pepper Patch, where I grew the peppers in the woods experiment. I'll leave a link to that so you guys can check that out. Follow along on that last summer's successful story there. But this year I'm going to expand. I'm still doing the pepper patch in the woods, but I'm going to try to alter it up a little bit, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But this is a new bed that I dug today. And would you believe it? Yesterday was 73 degrees. It's about I think the second or third day of spring. 73 degrees, and the temperature has plummeted. It is now 35 degrees. The following day, about 5 p.m., the high never got to 37 today. It's been cold and dreary. So anyways, now when starting a new bed, ideally you want to do this in the fall and give it plenty of time for the soil to kind of break up. You're going to add your compost or leaves or manures or whatever, cover crops, whatever you may do. But unfortunately, things got kind of busy and didn't get around to it, and it was pretty busy with harvesting and everything, my existing beds. Never got around to creating this bed. But if you see, this is kind of on a hillside here, but this little flat spot here is perfect. And this is just temporary. It'll probably be expanded. I'm not sure if I'll make it longer or kind of make another bed farther down or extend it in this area here or not, but time will tell. But anyhow, just want to show you guys what I'm working with here. Now, a lot of people, they think they have clay soil. They complain about having clay soil. But let me tell you what, if you don't have soil like this, and digging this up is one thing. This is cold, sticky, wet, red clay. I mean, look at this. You can make, there you go. So, I mean, that is actual clay right there, guys. Red clay, from Appalachian red clay right there. And while it does have a lot of very good properties, getting the soil to grow a garden in something just pure like this, good luck. If you followed along and know about me a little bit, I'm all about the no-till or very minimal tilling and invasive agriculture type stuff. But tell you what, this red clay like this, you got to bust it up at least probably the first year or two and cultivate it up, etc., to get this clay broken up, to get enough organic matter incorporated to give you some kind of workable soil. Because summertime, springtime come around, it's going to rain. This clay is going to get hard. It's going to get hard, and it's going to be just impossible to work with. But if you had enough compost, enough manures, throw some cover crops in there, some leaf mold, stuff like that in the fall, and keep incorporating it, over time, you're going to have something really awesome to work with, like I have created in the pepper patch there in the woods. But what I got here, if you look right this, that is well-aged horse manure. So yeah, so luckily, by a lucky coincidence, I suppose, probably eighth of a mile from down the road here is a horse stables, and they have, dozens and dozens of horses they keep up, the gigantic manure pile out there. And, for years I've taken a wheelbarrow over there and just brought stuff over here a little bit at a time. Well, today, my lucky day, is they were cleaning the stalls out, etc., and they had the front end loader out, and they were just saying, hey, why don't we just take a couple big front end loaders for you and bring it over to you? It's no big deal. And they went and they got the blackest, most composted down manures that you could have got out of that aged pile. This is probably several months at least, if not a year old. They got it from the good stuff in the bottom of the pile, so I cannot be more happy. But that goes to say that right now, it's, like I said, the second day of spring. You got 5, maybe 6 weeks before you're going to put anything in this soil anyways. So adding manure this late in the game is not going to be a big deal, because it's going to have at least 6 weeks. I say a minimum of 1 month, in my opinion, for aged manure. If you don't want to put fresh manure on this at all, you could probably do it in the fall and get away with it. But right now, where this stage of the growing is going to be, this aged manure is going to be just fine. It's all broken down. There's probably nothing harmful. You could probably plant directly into this and not burn your plants up. But like I said, it's early spring. So as it rains, as the sun cooks on it, it's going to kind of soak it in a little bit, help break it up. And then before I do plant, I will plow this up again, till it all in, incorporate this matter into it, and hopefully, work it in some of that clay, which is all you can really hope for in the first year of a hillside garden here on the red clay we got to work with. But yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to grow in this bed right now. Probably some peppers. Go figure. This is the hillside gardener with the pepper problems. But I'm probably gonna throw a lot more stuff in here, try it out. But this is a great little sunny spot. I think it faces maybe southwest. It's not quite due south. It's not quite west. And yeah, so just down over here, just for point of reference, if you followed along, right down here next to the creek bank, that's where I grew the Seminole pumpkins last year. And down there, it does get a little bit shaded, though the soil is fairly rocky, quite honestly, down there. But anyways, coming back around over here, I plowed this all up. I dug it over with one shovelful, and there was not a single rock. Didn't find a single rock. There's a horse making some noise over there. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I found no rocks as far up on the hillside. But, you know, years and years and years ago, this was a cattle / they had hogs and stuff like that. But that's like back in the 40s and 50s. But I imagine all this here has been plowed up and was tilled up and farmed for generations. But now it's just been kind of turned into a field, you know. But anyway, so I figured they probably got the roots and the sticks and the rocks and all that stuff out years ago. But anyhow, that's just a note, because at my residential house, when I was digging my little backyard garden, I couldn't dig 2 shovelfuls without slamming into giant rocks. So that was something else. So anyways, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna take you to the back, out into the woods a little bit, show you a little update on the Hillside pepper patch, how that's looking, and some kind of plans for this year, because I don't believe I'm going to do peppers this year, but I have some ideas what I may do. So let me take you out there and you can follow along and check out what's going on back there. All right, now we are back here at the Hillside pepper patch, and you know, the cover is taken off because it's wintertime and nothing was growing anyways. But you know, I'm surprised all the posts stood up through the wintertime. Nothing got really damaged. I think a couple of the windstorms kind of knocked some of the zip ties off, so I'll probably need to go back and, you know, reattach some of these that kind of got loose right there, but no big deal. But yeah, I mean, check it out. Remember if in the fall when I planted the garlic? Well, there you go. Got a row of garlic in the Hillside pepper patch right there. And I'm not sure if I can keep calling it the Hillside pepper patch. I'm not sure if that's appropriate, considering it's not really a pepper patch this year. So I probably still will, just as a reference, because this wasn't created as a Hillside pepper patch. But now that I've, you know, kind of expanded out, you know, call it something else. But anyways, in the middle row here, if you can tell, I planted those potatoes in the fall, right? Well, just noticed right there is one little potato coming up, one right there. But this is kind of far away, so let me go ahead and reposition and get you a little bit closer. Show you some of the potatoes that are now popping up here. All right, guys, that's a little better view for you. But right there, check it out. Potatoes coming up. So yeah, I planted these in the fall. If you remember that, I planted the potato scraps, the old seed potatoes I had, at the same time I planted this garlic. And there's one popping up right there. And saw a couple more coming up right there. One right there, and one little guy just coming up through right there, and one down there. So yeah, not quite the same level as the potatoes I showed you just a couple of days ago at my house, where I had the raised beds and the, you know, the cold frame and the covers and stuff on it with the miniature hoop house and everything. So I think this just confirms in my experiment that planting potatoes in the fall may be not a bad option, considering if you want that extra early springtime potato crop. But you know, it's not complete. There's not, everything's not just popping up. Like I said, it's just really sporadic down there, and that could be just from the soil. Maybe the potatoes rot in the soil here. Maybe it got too wet. I don't know, because it's not, like I said, it's not the raised bed situation like I showed you from the house, where maybe there's more drainage, and obviously the bed that had the plastic over it that made like a miniature hoop house out of it. Like I said, those potatoes are doing awesome. Obviously the soil stayed warmer. It's free draining, so yeah. But it's early, and this place back here does not get the most sun early in the springtime, so maybe with a little bit more sun and some warm temps, we'll get a little better germination. We'll see some more potatoes popping up. But you know, this garlic, I mean, right down the whole way, I think maybe there's one spot, like right, there's a gap right here, and that might be something that the bulb didn't sprout, or maybe I just didn't space them out properly, and there's just a gap right there. But there's all the garlic, 100% has survived the winter and is growing just fine here in the patch. And the potatoes down on that end are popping up, which gets more sunlight than this end down here, which may have something to do with it. But I'll stop rambling, but this row up here, this last row up here, is nothing planted, so I can't show you anything growing there. But I'm not sure what I'm going to plant back there, but I think it's going to be some kind of herbs. I think I might go with some oregano, maybe some basils, stuff like that, just to see how the herbs kind of do back here, which, you know, the less you pay attention to your herbs, the better they're going to do anyways. They hate being pampered. They don't like fertilizer. So we'll go with that. Oh yeah, but I was want to show you what's back here. The clay soil. This is just as much clay as back there. But yeah, this has had manures. This has had leaves and everything on it for a couple years. But I mean, just the top layer. Pull it back, nothing but little organisms here, some worms, some leaf mold. I mean, what was once clay soil. I mean, it's still clay, but it's actually, I mean, it's falling apart. And here's, of course, there's a little chunk of clay right there, but as far as the big clobs and the big gobs of clay soil, that's impossible to work with. You know, pro tip here, in the fall, add your grass clippings and your leaves. It seems for whatever reason, maybe it's the acidity of the leaves breaking down. Maybe it's just the fact that it's organic matter and encourages a lot of worms and things to help come in, you know, aerate the soil and whatever it may be. But yeah, so you can turn clay into awesome workable soil in any circumstance if you know what you're doing and you incorporate enough organic matter and give it time. You're not going to turn clay soil, especially red hard, sticky, wet, nasty Appalachian red clay, into beautiful workable farm soil overnight. So be patient and don't expect the great results the first day you start a new bed in the clay. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and leave you guys with a little bit of a early springtime. You see the grass is kind of perking up there. Hear the creek in the background running off the mountain back there. Yeah, 37 degrees ain't so bad when you get a view like that. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys, at the hillside here. Hope you learned something. Hope you follow along and see how I do on the hillside, how I do with working with clay soil and things like that. So yeah, if you guys have clay soil at your house and you've had some tips of what you've done to improve your soil, let me know. Drop in comments below. Oh yeah, please subscribe and leave some, tell your friends. You know why? Bring them all along with this little adventure, okay? All right, guys, I'm signing off for now. We'll catch you next time here on the hillside. Bye-bye.